Well, other news dominating headlines at this hour. Rescue teams are fully engaged with recoveries now as the search for victims of the catastrophic flood this week in Mthatha continues. Police emergency services and organizations like Gift to the Givers and the Imdaad Foundation, they have daily search and retrieval missions in flood-ravaged areas. Our reporter Nomzwanele Mngoma, video journalist Lwandile Mbulali will go out with the team today as they look for bodies, perhaps to bring closure to the grieving families. Nomzwanele, a very good morning to you at this hour. We obviously have been following updates, following the devastating floods in the Eastern Cape. You're in the Mthatha region. You're bringing us the latest there. We saw that there had been 6 more bodies recovered. But perhaps as the recovery operations continue, talk to us about some of those operations, what's being unearthed, and also what are some of those dire needs also coming to the fore for those who've been affected?
Greetings to you and to the viewers at home. At the moment, we are still waiting for more teams to arrive here at Mthatha Central Police Station before we go with them. But we had that they managed, as you've said, to retrieve or recover 6 bodies yesterday. And we also learned that it was not only here in Mthatha where the floods occurred, because it happened at Slovo and Colleen and other areas, but they managed to get some of the bodies in Libode, which is an area far from where these floods occurred. But let's also bring in Mr. Ahmed Bam from Gift of the Givers, just to tell us about their operations for today. Mr. Bam, welcome to the SABC. You are here, you will conduct your parade. Where to from here?
As you mentioned, yesterday was quite a tiring day, but we managed to retrieve those bodies. So today, what we do is every morning we meet here at about 8:15. We have a parade, all the rescue teams, and we do our taskings for today. Our taskings for today will be where we stopped yesterday. We're going to move down river and look at those other areas, and we're going to be looking at areas close to the river, like where we retrieved 1 or 2 bodies yesterday, as the water is receded now. So we're going to actually look in those shrubs and under those areas where we found that 1 body. And then, as you've mentioned before as well, some of the bodies have went quite downstream, if I put it, up to 10 kilometers or so downstream. We had the incidences where we recovered the 2 bodies at the Mthatha Dam as well. So we're fortunate today to have the South African Police Services Air Wing with us. They're going to be conducting aerial search and rescue, or rather recovery operations from the air along the riverbeds at the dams in those areas. We've got the Eastern Cape Department of Health helicopter that will also be assisting in way. We've brought in additional resources in terms of some other crocs, which is our boats, which our teams are going to be searching now in the water as well, in the main river as well. And then other teams will be moving on the sides of the rivers as well. So it's quite big operations over today, tomorrow, just to try and see what if we can retrieve much more bodies to bring closure.
I know that you do not know the number of the bodies that you are looking for, and does that depend on the identification processes, or you'll keep on searching until every family members are identified?
That's what our task is. It's so difficult. We've met some community members along the areas of the river we were searching yesterday, and many of them have told us that they are looking for their loved ones. They haven't yet reported it through to the South African Police Services, which we urge them to do. And the thing is, they're told they don't have access to phones, and there's no power in certain areas and things. But that things are getting daily better every day. But as they report it to our rescue teams, we are with the South African Police Services as well all the time, and we're capturing the data so that we can try and see how many people are missing. And eventually the families, once the bodies are recovered, as I explained, is we then hand it over to forensic pathology services, and then the missing people who reported missing people will go there, try and identify, and that's how they'll know if it's their family members or if they're still missing.
Thank you, Mr. Bam. That was Mr. Bam, one of the people that are handling this operation. And just to briefly tell you about what happened yesterday, because we visited the mortuary and went to these centers where these people are. When we got to the mortuary, people were comforting each other and hoping that they will get the bodies of their loved ones. But during the course of the day, when we went back to the centers, we found them coming back from the mortuary and very frustrated because they did not get their loved ones. They were even asking people around for a TLP because they now want to go to the rivers and try to recover their loved ones themselves. But with that, it's back to you in studio.
All right, we are certainly monitoring those developments, of course, as those recovery operations continue there. The search for missing bodies continue there. Thank you, Nomzwanele, for joining us and for that update. Nomzwanele Mngoma, as well as our video journalist, Lwandile Mbulali, going out with the teams today as they continue for the searching of the missing bodies and aim to bring closure to the grieving families.